adding integers using the team and battle method. First, quick review. What's an integer? An integer are the number line numbers. So when we're looking at number line numbers, the numbers that we're using are -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, etc. These are the whole numbers and their opposites. We're not including fractions in this. We previously have looked at a vertical number line. So we're going to do a quick review of that vertical number line. So we use the vertical number line. Let's say we have 2 plus -3. This means we're going to start at the +2. We add, that means we go up. Now, if it's followed by a positive number, then we're just going to keep going up. But if it's followed by a negative, we do a quick U-turn and we go down 1, 2, and 3. And where we land is our answer. So we're landing on -1. 2 plus -3 equals -1. Now, again, this can be a little cumbersome if you've got big numbers. If you're adding something like a -35, you don't really want to count down 35. So we've got other methods that we can use. Now, what we're going to talk about is the team and the battle. Now, team and battle, sorry, I got to find my screen. A team is where the negative or positive sign is the same. So if we look at this, we've got a +3 and a +5. That means they're on the positive team. So we would have 3 positives, we have 5 negatives, and they go together making 8. On the other side, we have a negative and a negative. They're on the same team. They've got the same sign, the same team. So we're going to put them together. So we've got 2 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives here, putting them together, and we have 7 negatives. So that's the team part. The battle is when the signs are different. So in this case, we have 2 positives, 2 positives here. We've got 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we can look at this closely. A positive matched with a negative cancels each other out. So these give me 2 zeros here. And what we're left with is 3 negatives. Now, if you're looking at just the values of this number, we've got 5 minus 2. This was our 5 negatives, subtracting the 2 that we're battling, and we're left with 3 negatives. So if we look at our next example, you're going to go kind of through a set of questions. So we've got a negative and we've got a positive. We look and see which one is the bigger number. So we've got 10, which is a positive, and 3 that is a negative. The 10 is bigger, so the 10 wins. That means my answer is going to be positive. Then we can just subtract. 10 minus 3 gives me 7, and my answer is positive 7. Let's try another one. Let's say we've got a 5 plus a negative 8. Again, we've got different signs, so we know it's got to be a battle. Which one's bigger, the 5 or the 8? The 8 is bigger. What that means is that negative wins. And then we subtract. 8 minus 5 would give me 3. Again, looking at our just our positives and negatives, let's say we have 5 positives, and then we've got 8 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 5 positives and 5 of the negatives all match up together to cancel each other out. So these guys all go away, leaving us with 3 negatives. So let's see if we can put this process together. The questions that you're asking, is this a team or is this a battle? In our case here, they're both negatives. That makes it a team. And which team are they on? They're on the negative team. Now, because it's a team, what we're going to do is we're going to add. We add these numbers together, 2 and 3. That gives me a 5, and my answer is -5. So I ask the same questions. I've got a 4 and a -1. So we've got a positive and a negative. That makes it a battle. So then I look and see. I got to pick the sign. Which one's bigger? The 4 is bigger. What that tells me is that my answer has to be positive. Now, if it's a battle, we're going to subtract the numbers. For 4 minus 1, that gives me a 3. So let's just look at a bunch of problems and ask those questions. Okay, so first, we have a +2. Let me change colors here. We have a +2 and a +7. That means it's going to be a team. So let's just make a T here so we know that it's going to be a team. And which team are they on? They're on the positive team. Remember, team means add, so we put those together, and my answer is a +9. Next example. Are they the same sign or are they different? In this case, they're different. That means it's going to be a battle. So then we look and see who's going to win. The positive number is bigger, so my answer is going to be positive. And then I subtract. 5 minus the 3 gives me 2. Next example. We've got a negative and a negative. So they're both on the same team. So there's another T. And they're on the negative team. So my answer is going to be negative. I put the numbers together, 8 and 11. That gives me 19. Last example. We have a positive and a negative. So this is going to be a battle. Remember, different signs means they're going to battle. The bigger number is going to win. So in this case, the bigger number is the -8. So the negative wins. We subtract 8 and 5, ending up with 3. So just a quick discussion of team and battle. You'll get lots of practice to understand this. Now, what this does to help us out, it makes it a better method than the vertical number line when you've got larger numbers. Let's say we've got 15 plus -25. We don't want to count 15 up and subtract -25. So we can look at it and see, are they the same sign or are they negative? They're different. I'm sorry, are they the same side or are they different? In this case, they're different. We've got one positive, one negative. That means my answer has to be negative. And because it's a battle, we're going to subtract. So once we decide what the sign is, we can ignore them. We're going to take 25 minus 15, and that gives me -10. So this just helps me with my signs when we get the bigger numbers.